Hey, welcome to the produce garden. This is the first part of a series I want to do on wild food, gathering wild food, wild vegetables and wild meats as well. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is yabbies, or what we call yabbies in Australia, which are basically just like a freshwater crayfish. We've got freshwater crays here too. This is just another subspecies of that as well. So quickly, what I want to just first mention is you can pretty much grab yabbies from any kind of still water, dams, billabongs, what have you. You can get them from flowing creeks, etc., but they tend to settle more so in still waters. So the one thing I just quickly wanted to mention today, if you are catching yabbies, be aware of what you're using. You can use hoop nets and baits, which you drag, when I was a kid we used to have a bait on a bit of string and pull the yabby in when we felt it tug, and pull it in over a net and pull it out. There are other traps, opera house nets and what have you that you can use. I don't know if you're allowed to use those in Victoria though, so check your local regulations, fishing regulations in the fishing guide first before you go and catch some. Now I'm going to do a couple of dishes over the next few weeks using yabbies, but just quickly I wanted to just talk about them. So the main thing is you can catch yabbies in any month that pretty much has an R in it. So from October, November, December, January, February, March, April to a degree. It's starting to get a bit cooler for them then, because they'll hibernate in winter as well. So you can't really catch them through the colder months. Now the best bait I've found to use is bits of liver, or I've actually caught these yabbies, which I'm going to show you in a sec, with heart. I just had a lamb that went to slaughter, and the heart I actually used as bait in the traps, so it worked really well. Now, before I cook them in the next episode, I just want to talk quickly about handling them and storing them. Now, you can see a lot of people, when they do catch yabbies, they tend to go for the way of just killing them by putting them in hot water, which I guess is fine. If it's nice boiling water, they'll pretty much die straight away. But I tend to go for the dropping off method, which means that I just put them in a bag and put them in the freezer. They get cold, they think it's winter, and they go to sleep, and then they just freeze. So that's what's happened to this one. You can see he's been in this bag with a few of his mates, and he's just frozen solid. So what I'll do when I want to cook them, just put them in hot water for about 3 to 5 minutes. They'll be a bluey grey colour initially, and when they're cooked they go bright red. So you'll know when they're cooked. 3 to 5 minutes and they're pretty much done. Main thing I reckon is just to be aware of these claws. You can see how big the claws are on this bloke. And I have seen, when I was a kid, I've seen another kid with his little finger just about cut right off at the end. They're very sharp. So that brings me to my next point, which is handling them. Now I've got one here which I've just caught. Now, best way to do it. Now you can see he's flailing his claws around at the front here, so he wants to get a good hold of me. So when you grab them out of the nets, just grab them behind the claws, alright, just like that, if you can see it from there. So he can't get me with these, and I'm just holding those claws forward. So don't grab them by the tail or grab them by here or there, because you'll get a nick and it hurts and they don't let go. So be careful of that. The other thing I want to mention quickly too is when you do catch yabbies, try and go for a good size. If you can, make sure you get a good size, because obviously you're going to get more meat off it. But the little ones, there's no point in catching the little ones and just depleting the stock in different places. There's heaps of them around, but you might as well leave them until next year and they'll be a bit bigger. So this one, in my opinion, is a little bit small. I'd throw him back. But I've just kept him today. I'll put him back in the dam, but I've just kept him today to demonstrate. The other thing I want to tell you too is the females will, if they're in season, will have a row underneath their tail here. If you catch one that's got the row on it, just throw it back, because you want to keep the yabby population going. So behind the claws, pick it straight up, keep those claws forward so he can't reach around and grab you, and you should be right. Now I'm going to use a couple of recipes for these, so over the next couple of weeks I'll be back and we'll do a couple of shows on that. If you have any queries about yabbies or freshwater crayfish or what have you in your area, just give me a yell. The email address is theproducegarden@yahoo.com.au. Cool. See you later.